What up, though? I'm gonna give it a minute, let some guys get in here before I start talking. Loading up these stats. Not upset at all. I'm just trying to get set up. Told y'all before, the wins and losses is not a thing with me this season. It's the fashion in which we lose. And today, it wasn't as disappointing as some of the other times we lost where I felt like we could have won, but today, just didn't shoot a good enough basketball today as a team. Oh, that's what's up, Dominique. All right. So we just passed 30 people. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get to talking. Bring in my man Deuce. Downtown Deuce, what's the deal, brother?
Goody, bro.
No, man. I want to talk some Pistons, man. Even though we took an L tonight, I think it's just long overdue for me to come on here live and, man, for us to sit here and chop it up, basically about what's been taking place with this team over the last, let's say, 10 to 15 games.
Right.
A little preview. I got some Pistons early season reviews coming out. I put a poll on Twitter right now to see who everybody wants first.
Yeah,
You guys can leave it in the comment section between Ivy, Killian, Durant, and Isaiah Stewart.
Yep.
Let me know who you want first.
Yeah, it looked like on Twitter everybody was voting for Ivy.
Yeah.
Ivy and Kill looked like, right?
Yeah. Which I expected.
Right.
Durant is, his report probably end up being the shortest because it's not more based on, offensive performance and stuff like that. It's mostly effort. So, but Isaiah Stewart, we got to obviously talk about his shooting, man. His shooting has been very impressive, especially over the last 15 games. So,
you looking good, man. You looking good, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What we getting into first?
So let's get into this game first. We can start out with this game versus Sacktown. Game 2 of this series against them. Another high-scoring game. Not as high-scoring as the first one was. That one was also close. But the Kings just they shot the ball well tonight. They brung it a little bit more defensively tonight. The Pistons got stuck on trying to force things to work out there. Especially when it comes to guys like Bojan. You look at the stats and say, Bojan got 22 points, man, but he played horrible tonight. Absolutely horrid tonight, man. The ball wasn't flowing like we've been used to seeing over these last couple of weeks. It wasn't moving, hitting everybody's hand like it need to. And I think that's what cost the Pistons this game.
Yeah. I felt too like it felt like Sacramento kind of underestimated us that first half, and then we kind of woke them up. And then second half, it seemed like they really went to whatever game plan they had, and it kind of hit us in the mouth, and we didn't really know how to respond to that. And that's kind of what happens with a young team. Not really
Right.
surprised by that. Happens, you know.
Yeah, always gonna be ups and downs, man, in certain situations. So let's look at a few of these stats. Pretty much the entire team is in the negative.
Yeah,
Except for a couple of guys off the bench. But like I said, Boyan with 22 tonight. Shot the ball 16 times. Obviously, gonna shoot the ball the most on the team. That's just what he does. Had a
yeah,
couple of instances out there, a couple of retweets on Twitter that I was watching, where people were pointing out, "Hey, man, you got 2 or 3 guys open on the sides. Pass them the basketball." This is classic Boyan. Is what I've been talking about. For some people, think that I don't like Boyan. I don't know why. It's just I don't like when he plays like this. When
right.
you don't have it going, move the basketball. When you see them pass heavy to Boyan, get the ball moving. Say, hey, we need to move the
Hmm.
ball. You got to be the veteran leader out there, right? So, I
Yep.
didn't like that tonight. The ball was sticking to him, man. The foul trouble with Killian Hayes tonight, that really sucked.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't working. It just wasn't working
Yeah.
tonight, man.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta give Boyan a little credit. He was trying to be aggressive. I mean, not for nothing free throw line. I'm not mad at that. That's. But
Right.
like you said, I don't want him in playing ISO basketball.
No.
That's not what I want. And when he does that, what you just mentioned happens. The ball sticks.
Yeah.
And guys are not moving. Guys are ball watching. Guys are player watching, and that's not what we need. That's not what our offense has really been predicated on ever when we've been successful.
Yeah, man. I pretty much the fourth quarter was pass the ball to Boyan. You seen
Yeah.
a pick and roll. Killian goes to the right, pass the ball to Boyan. That's pretty much what your fourth quarter right there.
Yep.
And it just wasn't working. They were trying to force it, man. And like I said, it was kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. You'll take that on any night. But man, when guys are open, you got to get them the ball. You got to get them the
Mhm.
ball. And that goes for everybody on the team.
Mhm.
So, didn't want
Yeah.
to see some of these guys come out there and force. As far as shooting the basketball from three, like I said, just not a good night. Besides
Sheesh.
Isaiah Stewart, who is turning into one of the best 3-point shooters on this team.
Man. Out of nowhere overnight.
Besides him and Bay, man, everybody is pretty much in the negative, man. It's a bunch of 1 for 5,
Yeah.
1 for 4, 1 for 3. So,
Yeah.
just didn't shoot the ball well from three.
Mhm.
Like I said, free throws, man, is something that we definitely need to get more of. It's just not working for my rook, man. My man Ive, he can't get nothing. He can't get no calls. It sounds familiar, don't it?
Yeah. We just talking about this last year with Cade.
Yeah,
He can't get two.
man.
I mean, this man is always downhill. For him to
That's
not to be able to get one call, come on, man. We at
come
home.
on. Look at that, man. This man got a donut in the free
That's
throws
crazy.
tonight. That's absolutely absurd. As much as he tacked, the basket, man. On 2 of those 9 attempts, man. Like I said, you 2 for 9 attempts. And you shot the
Yeah.
ball from 3-4 times, bro. Listen,
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
that man attacks the basket. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, come on, give him something. I mean,
Hmm.
something at least out there. One whistle, maybe, because we suffered through watching K go through the same thing, man.
Right.
And Ivy, he even goes harder to the basket. He
Hmm.
got beat up tonight. It was getting hit in the face and all type of stuff. Just
Yeah.
wasn't good, man. It
He
wasn't
was, and
good.
he wasn't settling. Because one thing that I wanted him to do is kind of cut back on those 3 point attempts. He only took four tonight. Everybody
Yeah,
else outside of Duran took more than him, in the
yeah.
starting lineup. So I'm good with that. So just, continue to, put the pressure on the rim. Those calls will eventually come. It's just a rookie treatment. The same thing happened to K last year.
Yeah. So the biggest problem was, I'm gonna move up here to the Kings, man, was this here. Look at the consistency of double-digit
Mhm.
scoring that they got. But it's
Sheesh.
the guys that's not named De'Aaron Fox, that's not named Sabonis or Harrison Barnes, you know what I'm saying? Or my guy, Keegan Murray.
I knew it. I was waiting on it. I was waiting.
Listen, man, Greg and George said the same thing on TV.
Yeah.
Keegan Murray is going to contribute to championships. That's just what he's going to do. He plays smart basketball. He plays winning basketball. So they really like I said, they got themselves a really good player. He may not
Yeah.
turn into the super perennial all-star, but he's gonna help you win some basketball games.
Yeah, for sure. The thing about him, he had, and I think Greg or George said he had a quiet 20.
Yes.
It wasn't explosive. He's a great glue guy. Like, but he's a talented. It's not like he's just a role. He's a talented player, but he's not going to hurt you on the basketball court. He's always looking to make the right play, right? He's always seems to be in the right spot offensively and defensively. He's just solid all around. That's what you need on a winning team. So yeah, you're right. He played
Yeah.
a really good game.
Just night and day. You know what I'm saying? Plus minus plus our plus minus is total opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just played a really good basketball game. Just got to give it to them. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, they're a veteran team, and our youth showed. It definitely showed versus them tonight.
Yeah.
So, you know, they got the monks and all. They just have so many good veterans around there that know how to shoot the basketball, man. So,
Right.
you know, it is what it is. But we got to talk about what's been going on this season. Obviously, over these last 15, 20-ish type of games. First and foremost, we know we got to talk about the performance of Killian Hayes. That's been the
Yes,
hot
sir.
topic lately. The
Yes, sir.
turnaround from the beginning of the season. I posted you know, some stats up on Twitter earlier over his last 10 games, 14 points a game, 8 assists, shooting 38% from the 3-point line, and that's off of 5 attempts from the 3-point line, which
Right.
is absurd compared to where he's coming from.
For sure.
But
For
then,
sure.
like I said, 45% from the floor. So, like I said, it's something. The old Killian is dead. It's time to go ahead and say that. We shouldn't be surprised anymore about Killian Hayes' performances. It's time to say, okay, now he's here. Let's get ready to move to the next step.
Right. And that's what I tweeted. Old Keelan is gone, bro. You know, and I understand the hesitancy to kind of give him credit because you've had a couple years of him really struggling. But at what point how many games do you need to see consistently for you to say, okay, this is a different player? You can see it on the basketball court. He just looks once whatever happened with his shot, and I gotta give Beeline credit if he contributed to that. Once he figured that out, everything else seemed to fall into place. You know, like he's actively looking for his shot. He's looking to attack his matchup, which is what I like to see.
Yeah, and you know, as far as his jump shot goes, got to give it to he went to 3 different shooting coaches this summer. He said
True.
three. So, you know, like I said, him putting the work in, being a young player like that, to say, hey, I want to improve in shooting the basketball, then that's what you got to do. But every time you take a step like that, as far as adding something to your game or working on something, you're not going to start off the greatest. And that's just what didn't happen with him. You know, he wasn't shooting the ball well, but then it started to fall. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the confidence got higher and higher and higher. And him having the opportunity and having the minutes that he got out there on the court. I still think if Killian was coming off the bench, because we already seen it start to transition off the bench, I think we still see some of the same type of play that we got right now from Killian Hayes, man.
For sure.
Yeah, like I say, go ahead.
I just feel like now that he knows that there's nobody really behind him that's gonna allow him to get pulled when he makes a mistake, that's allowing him to play more freely. You know, he's not gonna get pulled as soon as he makes a mistake because because K can come in or Ivy can come in right behind him. It's kind of just like it's him or Kojo. And you know how that goes. So I think too, knowing he ain't got to look over, I know how you feel about that. Knowing he ain't got to look over his shoulder when he makes a mistake, is just allow him to be more aggressive and make those mistakes when they happen, because they're gonna happen. You know.
Yeah, most definitely, man. You know, we might as well talk about that for the next topic. You know, K being out for the rest of the season, having a successful surgery. Thank God for that. You know, it'll allow him to get himself healthy, man, and be prepared and ready for next season. We definitely miss Cade on the court right now. Tonight could have been one of those Cade nights, bro. You know, where he took us over the top.
Yeah, it definitely could have happened. Like you said, thankfully the surgery went well. I had a chance to chop it up with AB today. Ashton, shout out to him for a quick minute, and he said the surgery was successful. Everything went well. Now it's recovery phase. So we just gotta be patient. Allow him to get, his legs back under him. Allow him to heal, properly. Because it's no rush right now. We're not going nowhere right now. So just let him do his thing. And I think I gotta say this too. We need to remember that these are human beings. They're not just basketball players. They have things mentally they go through as well and physically. So and I understand we all hoop heads, but for the only focus to be on, man, we lost Cade for the season. Let's think about him as a human being too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like this, we're all individuals, we all people. So
yeah.
let's just keep that in mind too. Let's make
It,
sure he's doing what's best for himself going forward after basketball is over.
of course, me guys like me and you, we automatically gonna think that way. But when it comes to
Yeah,
these sports, man, this is wrong. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? When the
yeah.
gladiator is hurt, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? It's
I
just what
know,
it is, man. They
I know.
harsh. And that day, you seen the tweets I put on Twitter. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? People coming outrageous stuff already. This is
Yep.
wrong, man. It's just what it is. So man, you know what I'm saying? It absolutely hurt and it's frustrating because you wanted him to be out there and develop with the rest of the squad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the time for development and that getting that team camaraderie, man, and playing
Yep.
together, and this is what it was. So yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks, but at the same time, man, get yourself healthy, heal up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We know number two is number two. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
gonna come
Yeah.
do what
Too.
he
Yeah.
do regardless.
Yeah. Deuce
So
is Deuce. And I'm glad it happened early in his career.
yeah,
You know,
right,
he's not
exactly.
28, 29, right in the prime of his career, and then this happens. You know,
Right.
it's happening early. He can make the adjustments because from what I've learned with that kind of injury, it's not something that happens on one play. Because I was thinking maybe the play that caused this was when he got fouled on teal night and
Yeah.
they by two guys and they didn't call it. But this is a gradual thing. This has happened over time. So it's
Yeah.
going to take that same time for it to heal properly. So you just gotta take his time, and he's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So we got to talk about your dog, and I'm gonna let you kind of
Yes,
take the
sir.
driver wheel.
Ooh wee. Okay.
With this situation, man, the big, strong young pup, uh,
Man.
Jalen Duran, man,
Okay.
Jalen Duran.
So I got a couple things to talk about here. And we talked about this on draft night. We said, bro, what just happened?
Yeah,
How in the world did we just get this dude?
yeah,
I saw it in college, man. When he was bodying Chet the way he was, I said, whoa, this dude is a problem. You remember that?
yeah,
But he's the first player. I just looked this up. He's one or two guys in the last 40 years as a teenager to have 5 consecutive games or more
12
with
rebounds.
12 rebounds. Guess who the other guy is?
Dwight.
Dwight Howard. Dwight freaking Howard. This dude had 20 rebounds last game, had 15 to 14 tonight,
Yeah,
and he's leading all rookies in total rebounds, and he's only started what 4 games, bro. Just wait until this. You don't even know who he is yet. He don't even have plays drawn up for him. He's not even really looking to be aggressive offensively, except for when he's getting offensive rebounds or catching lives.
man.
So the sky is the limit for this cat. I cannot wait to see him. I can't wait to see him when Cade comes back because he's really going to be eating then.
That
He is
brother's
going to be
spitting right now.
eating. Like y'all love the whole Bagley Cade connection, and I do too. Watch when him and Duran, because you already see with Ivy, Duran and Ivy are already starting to get a little chemistry going. Once Cade comes back and they start to build that chemistry, it's a wrap. He's gonna take off.
Man, Dwayne Casey said something interesting. I don't know if people was really listening, but he was talking about not only Duran, and he was talking about Stu. And he said
Mm,
those two are going to play together for a long time.
yeah, I
That's
actually,
key.
bro, I posted that today on IG. That's exactly what that should tell you everything. That should because he's not gonna say that if they don't have the chemistry, if they don't get along, if they're not effective when they're on the court. So for him to publicly say that, not even just thinking it, but for him to publicly say that, that tells you everything you need to know. This is the front court of future.
Yeah.
Period. Unless we get, and I ain't trying to go there, but unless we get that guy in the draft
Mhm.
or something crazy happens, this is the front court of future, and I'm happy with it. I think this is a front court you can win a championship. You can win a championship with these two guys
Yeah.
in their prime. I see it.
Stu shooting the blood out that ball right now, man.
Sheesh.
Shooting the blood out that
Sheesh.
basketball right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's definitely, if you look in the past 10 to 15 games, he's definitely north of 40%.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
bro.
and that's off of legit attempts from the
Right.
3-point line. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, Stu is definitely, I mean, to say, hey, man, over the summer, work on my shot, turn this thing on, man. And he been going since the season started, man. It took a while for it to start falling consistently, but now, boy, this man is shooting that basketball. Got to give credit to Isaiah Stewart. He's been playing his ass off, man.
I agree, bro. I just love his work ethic, man. He's one of those guys. He's one of those workers where it's like every season he's going to bring something new. He's going to get incrementally better every season. He doesn't have the greatest skill set, but he's going to maximize and squeeze every ounce out of his skill set. And that's why I can't wait to see him in a year or two from now, along with Duran. They're gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be fun to see.
Losing, leadership, losing Cade Cunningham, I feel like it's causing a little bit of a suffering out there on the court when it comes to a certain player. That player is now on the bench. We've seen Bojan be looked too heavily to score the basketball, and it took shots out of Saddiq Bey's hand to where he lands on the bench right now. And of course, I got to mention it, even though I really don't feel like talking about it. The trade rumors that you're seeing out there for Saddiq Bey, I'm not really even sure I can call it legit trade rumors because the Pistons are not actually shopping Saddiq Bey. They're just taking calls like they do on everybody. I don't think anybody on this team is untradeable besides guys like Cade Cunningham. So they're probably taking calls about everybody, especially Bojan, who everybody is in love with right now. And I honestly think before Saddiq gets traded, I think Bojan is going to be the one who does get traded because what the Pistons are asking for Saddiq Bey reportedly is unprotected. And when you look at the teams listed, I don't think they're willing to do that. I think they
don't make sense.
Yeah, it don't make sense for them to do that. So I think he sticks, and I think guys like Bojan just may be able to pull unprotected pick away from some team.
Right.
The Lakers want him bad, but if it's that the rumor I've seen from LA, they can keep that. That protected pick in Beverly. I need more than that for Bojan.
That's not enough. But you're right though, because I mean his stock is not going to be any higher than it is right now. He's 33. He's not getting any younger, but he's playing the best basketball of his career. So he could fall off a cliff in a couple years. I'm not saying he's going to, but he's 33. For him to be playing as well as he is at 33, what more are you expecting if you're a Detroit Pistons fan, right? Yeah. So if we already have a guy, Saddiq Bey, who can give you a lot of the same things, who's 23, and you're going to get more for Bojan, who's 33, it just kind of makes sense. Because the Pistons aren't shopping him either. They're taking calls, like you mentioned. But if the trade is there, I'm not too mad at it as long as it's something we can get back that's of value.
Yes. Yeah, and that's with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to my son, my far distant son Killian. if the price is right, you got to take that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think
family now, bro.
Yeah,
the Hayes family.
Shout out to the Hayes family, man. Moms, pops, man. Even to my man Jan, his trainer. But yeah, like I said, just listen, man. It's the basketball is a business, you know what I'm saying? Yep. And Troy Weaver has a job to do, and that's to take these calls, you know what I'm saying? So listen, man, we got plenty of time before we can, really get into that deep trade discussion. This is just early season, things that's tossed out there. Teams are just calling around, kicking the bucket. You got to expect that. Obviously, these teams see something in Saddiq Bey to want to trade for him. Dallas actually wanted to trade for him on draft night, if a lot of people don't realize that.
That's right.
And Troy Weaver just has to be smart enough to say, hey, I want an unprotected pick because, listen, if he develops into what I thought he was going to be, because we was celebrating when we got him at the pick we did, if he turns into that, then I want to say, hey, I got an unprotected pick, first rounder. I did something. I got something in return. Don't go out there and make Drummond trades where you get the octopus and Brandon Knight. Listen. So you got to be smart about that situation. And the thing what frustrates me with fans is they treat Saddiq like he's some type of 5-year veteran. Saddiq is still young too. You know what I'm saying? So if he's struggling right now, he's entitled to that. He's entitled to that right now.
Right.
I think with his maturity and what they seen, rookie season, all rookie team, things like that. Yeah. And what they seen last year, some of his performances, they kind of hold him to an unfair standard at times.
Exactly.
And it annoys the hell out of me. We know the fan base don't really understand what development is like, because look what they just did to Killian Hayes, obviously. Knowing his backstory, knowing the situation, they didn't want to hear it. So I expect that from casuals. But y'all got to lay off the Sadiq Bey thing. He's slumping. He's inconsistent right now. He's entitled to that. Let's let the season go on, because we did the same thing last season, and then second part of the season he caught fire. Right. You know what I'm saying? So let's chill out a little bit. You know, let the rumors be if they out there. Some people just love to have something to talk about, to be honest.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna be one of them guys. So I'm gonna leave it there until we get close around that deadline where things really heat up.
I agree with you, bro. I mean, is he any worse than the Pistons record? That's the point. We're not even in a place to be even contending. So why are you concerned at this juncture? If we were at that point and he was a weak link, okay, we could have a conversation because we're trying to contend. But is he worse than the team as a whole? Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
So allow him to grow with the team. As the team gets better, guess what? He'll get better. That's just how it goes. That's how it works.
Yeah, definitely not worried about Bey. But I want to give flowers to one of the guys that also took a lot of slack at the beginning of the season, along with guys like Killian Hayes, man. Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox, man. Defense, bro. 3-point shooting, effort. He giving you everything out there. He giving you livers. That's what he giving you.
That's what I was going to say. Earlier today, when I heard the news that livers re-aggravated and he's probably going to be out another 2 weeks, I tweeted that Kevin Knox is caressing the air right now. Yeah, he's not punching the air; he's caressing the air. He's happy because he's about to get some more time. But yeah, he's one of those guys, man. Once again, he doesn't really hurt you. He knows his role, right? He takes the open shot. He plays good defense, good team defense. He moves the ball. He does everything you want him to do. Everything you want a player of his caliber to do, he does it, and he's getting consistent. You can see his confidence growing, bro. As the opportunity continues to come, he's knocking down that jumper. He's not thinking twice. He's pulling it. He's in the right spot to make plays. Like those 50-50 balls, he's getting those. He's doing everything you want to see him do. I couldn't be happier with Kevin Knox right now.
Yeah. One thing that people got to understand, you got to understand the mind of Troy Weaver. And, I mean, that's easier said than done. So, Troy Weaver, when he takes flyers on these guys, usually it's for a good reason. He took that flyer on MB3. He took took the flyer on Kevin Knox. He took the flyer even on Diallo, even though he's not on the floor right now. He did take a flyer on Bobo, even though the training staff, the doctors, they failed on that. But he took a flyer on Bobo. I wish Ernie Kander was here because he probably would be like, look, keep him.
My guy, best in the business. Yep.
So, but you see what Bobo is tearing up the league right now. You know what I'm saying? That boy is a true unicorn. So, like I said, when he usually take flyers on guys, man, usually it's a good thing. And with Kevin Knox, I'm kind of glad he took a flyer on him because he took a lot of slack. Obviously, everybody knew Kevin Knox is the guy that Zion dunked on in summer league. Took the ball from and dunked on. So Kevin Knox, like I said, he provides you energy, he provides you shooting, he provides you defense and some rebounding at times. So that's what you want coming off your bench. So it's no way, shape, or form that I'm going to complain about that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
I'm just really glad to see because what he's doing right now is the same thing he was doing during that Rico Hines run.
Yes,
and I was like, okay, this is just Rico Hines, this is just open run, but to see that translate to the NBA, like in the NBA court, because he's doing the same exact thing he was doing there, bro, making the right play. I'm just glad to see it translate.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see as a Piston fan. Period. Play the right way, in the words of Larry Brown. Play the right way, man. So we got a couple of guys that's embracing that. We got a couple of knuckleheads that need to get it together. But like I said, you go out there, you give it all on both sides of the court. That's all Dwayne Casey is asking for, man. Defense first, and then on the offensive side, hey man, let's be unselfish, do what we got to do. We got to talk about Ive, man.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned at all. I am not concerned about Jaden Ivey. I mean, a lot of his shots at the rim that he is getting fouled on and not getting fouled on, they're just rolling around. They just toilet bowl, just
Yeah,
rolling, and just popping out. He just needs to slow down. He wants to win so bad. You can see he really wants to win
yeah,
so bad, but sometimes that allows him to get out of control.
yeah.
So he just needs to relax a little bit. Go ahead.
I mean, when my coaches hat on, man, I say, over the summer, what I want to see from Ivy is obviously working on more consistent with, getting more consistent with that jump shot, but floaters. I want to see him working
Mm-hmm.
on a floater, some type of go-to move, but at the basket moves is what he needs. You got the
Yeah.
speed, you get to the rim, but you got to have the moves to go with it. The difference between Ivy and Ja Morant is Ja Morant knows how to contort his body, how to get the best opportunity, how to use his body against bigs in order to get his shot off. That's what a
Right.
young rook in Ivy, that's what he has to do.
Yep.
And that will come. Maybe at some point later in the season, you may start to see it. No, who knows how long
True.
that's going to take. But over the summer, those are the things I
Mm-hmm.
want him to work on. Landing a little bit safer. Good Lord, that boy is on the
Bro.
floor too much for me.
So aside, I'm with you. So aside from, I'm gonna get to that because I definitely agree with that. Another thing I want to see him work on too is his mid range because that's what's going to be there. That's
Yes,
that's going to be there because guys are packing the paint because they know that's what he wants to do. I had a
Deuce,
chance to talk to his
Deuce,
father. Go
Deuce.
ahead.
You right. I'm gonna let you finish your point. But you're right. Look who did it. K did it.
Yeah,
K did it.
yeah,
Killian did it. You see
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So you're
Yeah, you're
absolutely
right.
right.
Yeah, like that's what his father was saying when I had a chance to chop it up with him. He was just saying because I was saying your boy looking. I forgot what game it was. A few weeks ago. He said your boy looking good tonight, and he said, yeah, he looking okay, but we got to get that mid range together because that's what's going to be available. And
Yeah,
he's right. Guys are packing the paint. You're right, Kate. He was an assassin before he
man,
got hurt. He was looking like Kawhi Leonard in the mid range, man. Looking like
man,
Rip Hamilton or somebody.
man.
So that's that's gonna be the next step I think for him. Is so to get to your other point. I'm I cringe every time he goes up and I see a foot underneath him. I'm just like, please don't land. Please don't land on that.
It
And go ahead.
it's not even that. He has to learn that. This is why I wish veterans like D Rose was still around on this team.
Hmm.
He has to learn from guys like D Rose and say, "Hey, man, you're not gonna have a long career playing like that. You're
Right.
not, man. Your body's gonna start to break down faster than it should. You can't keep
Hmm.
banging the floor like that.
Right.
Right now you're young, fine. I get it.
Hmm.
You out there, you going. It's your game. I get it. But
Yeah.
even John Morant said it. I was watching him and shout out to the fellas at Pivot, but he was on Pivot, man, on the Pivot episode. And he was talking about how, one of the things he worked on over the summer was his mid range and his jump shooting and how to
Hmm.
get more shots up without, taking a beating.
Hmm.
And, John Morant's just got here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So when you hear guys like that talking about it, you got to say, hey, man, I got to find better ways to take care of my body, man, because falling and even when he's falling into the base of the rim and everything, freak accidents happen. We seen a guy,
Yeah, bro.
and Paul George have a freak accident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, man, you got to be a little bit more mindful of when I get to this basket, I'm going to use my body to make sure I protect myself when I'm going up against these bigs because
Right.
they got to get that on him quick
Yeah.
if we want to
I
keep
agree.
him around. Your volume went out. You muted. Yep. You muted yourself. There you go.
King easy hit it, bro. The ground is always going to win. The ground is always going to win. And I just hope. And you mentioned John Morant. He takes calculated risks now. Like I noticed when he first came into the league, he was looking like Jaden, all over the place, making these amazing finishes. But now, like he's taking that pull up jumper, he's putting that floater up there. He's taking calculated risks, and he's learning how to control himself while he's in the air. So that's gonna come a time for Jaden Ivey. It's gonna come. I'm not worried.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So, I mean, we got to talk about our veterans. The combination of Boyan and Burks. What they provide, we know they provide shooting and scoring at in stretches or in bunches. We talked a little bit about Boyan. When you don't have it, you got to get other guys involved. Man, the value of these guys, as far as what you're getting out of them, on this team right now, it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
But you got guys like Burks, who is an absolute spark plug off the bench that you want to hold on to a guy like that.
Mm-hmm.
But do you see him as him and Boyan in the same type of boat? Because Boyan right now, we all expect him to get traded at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Burks, is Burks a guy that you want to keep around on this roster?
At the contract that he has, yes. Right. I mean, I think he's a guy, he knows his role, and I think that's important because we always talk about Boyan with this ISO offense, and that's not gonna get you dubs. It's just not, especially as a starter. I like Burks because I think he can really teach these guys how to draw fouls.
Yeah.
He is the master of drawing a foul. You can call it flopping, you can call it whatever you want. Them whistles be blowing for him.
Yeah.
More than anybody.
From
what I've seen, right? So a guy like Jaden Ivey, I hope Burks will kind of mentor him and show him, because Burks don't have nearly the athleticism that Ivy has, right? But he knows the angles, he knows body control, he knows how to get up under you, he knows how to make sure that he's in the view of the referee. I'm watching these things. He knows how to do all of these things. So I think you keep him around because he can teach these guys how to do the same thing. So I would definitely like to keep him around.
Yeah, definitely my microwave player. Biggest disappointment this season. I'll go first. Okay. For me, it's Nerlens Noel. I had some hopes for Nerlens Noel.
Yeah.
Just defensively at the least.
Yeah.
But Nerlens is in a situation where he's getting some calls for trades too, which he probably will get traded. Man, big disappointment for me.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I think honestly it's a disappointment for him too, because he actually he was on IG Live when he first got here, and he was saying, y'all know what I'm gonna bring. If you don't know, you're gonna see. He was looking forward to playing this season, and I think we all were looking for him to play as well, to be able to mentor these young bigs, to mentor a Durant, to help mentor a Stu, to help mentor a Bagley defensively. But when I saw him, he just didn't look like he was NBA ready. He didn't look like he was in NBA, and I didn't realize how thin he was. He's a really thin guy.
Super thin.
And when I saw him, it was one game we played against the Bucks, and he was guarding Giannis, and he just completely just lost his footing. And I'm like, yeah, he's not back yet. He's not back yet. So I think I hope wherever he goes, he gets that opportunity, because it's gonna take that for him to get in game shape. Practice ain't gonna do it. But I would agree with you. That's probably my biggest disappointment so far. It's definitely Nerlens.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for guys like Diallo. We know what Diallo is. Diallo, he's an effort guy. He can attack the basket. He plays some really good defense. Also, it's a effect of K going out too, because Killian moves to that starting position, and now Corey Joseph's getting minutes, which Corey Joseph was on the bench at one time, and I was loving it. when Killian is at playing the point, you move that Burks position to the 2 guard, and you have some space for Diallo if Livers is out right now.
Right, good point.
So he would have had an opportunity, but because of the way the rotation is falling, he's just the odd man out. I still would have liked to see him hit the floor tonight. I still personally would like to just say, hey, play Burks at the point guard and play Diallo and sit Corey Joseph down, man.
Yeah.
But we all know what this is, right? So
we know what's going on.
Yeah, Corey gonna be on the floor. It is what it is. But when we look at the future, guys that's gonna be off of this team, there's gonna be some spots available.
Yeah.
You got, even from your 2-way contracts with Braxton Key.
Yeah.
Corey Joseph, Rodney McGruder, Nerlens Noel. Some of these faces you ain't gonna see next season.
Boeheim.
Right. So you're gonna see some new faces, man, some new opportunities. That's what I'm looking forward to when we take that next step. because with those guys out of the way, it allows you to add to your roster, but at the same time, you can keep some guys around. And, I know we got some money to spend, but, we also going to have to pay a couple of players too, which none of them are going to be expensive.
Right.
That's the plus. Like I said, everybody complaining about Sadiq Bey being on the bench. I'm not. You know why? Because it keeps his value, his money value a little low. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Got a genius, if you ask me. But right, you got more than enough money to pay these guys and still go out and get some big free agents.
You got $60 million again.
Yes, to go out and get big free agents, man. Well, bigger free agents this time.
Right.
But you still got roster spots too. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you gotta, simmer down a little bit. Man, we got this, man. Troy got this.
Troy got this.
Let it drive, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. Are there any targets on your radar for who you would like the Pistons to bring in? Just throwing names out there. Is there anybody that stands out to you? I keep hearing Cam Reddish as a target. I don't know how to feel about Cam Reddish. I don't know.
I don't really want to take.
I think he has talent.
Yeah, I don't want to take no more flyers in this opportunity. I want to go out and get something for sure. That's just gonna be. It's gonna be interesting because there's gonna be some players available.
Yeah,
man, I don't know what you do. To be honest, man, because it's like you got a front court that's got. I mean, you got Durant, you got Stu, you got Bagley. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, do you add another big, another legit four? Because I'm talking post Boyan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you add another legit 4 or 5?
See, to me, Boyan is not even a 4.
He's not.
We're
just forcing him to do it.
Yes,
at times.
I wouldn't mind having a gunner at that 3 position.
Yeah,
a gunner, just a 3 and D guy. If Boyan was a little bit above average defensively, I'd be like, let's keep him here.
Yeah.
But I think that 3 position, because we're not moving Ivy, we're not moving Cade, we obviously not moving Duran, and we're not moving Stu right now. We heard what Casey said.
Yeah.
So to me, that 3 position is really the only spot right now where you could make a vast improvement.
Yeah, you're right. And like I said, we talking post Boyan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's if the Pistons decide to trade him.
Right.
So if they don't trade him, say Boyan is still on the team, you still got to move him. He got to stay at his legit spot, which is a 3.
Yeah.
Because the boy can't check a box on a piece of paper. So that's my only thing. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I'm never in the business of just having guys that just score. That annoys me.
Yeah.
You got to play some goddamn defense. You know what I'm saying? One thing everybody talks so much about Golden State over the years. Well, guess what? Golden State also was good defensively.
Absolutely.
We seen one of their defensemen tonight, with the first championship team and Harrison Barnes when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They always have good defensemen. Iguodala, you know what I'm saying? It's always good wing defenders.
Right.
We can't have a guy just running around chucking up shots.
Yeah, I agree, and that's something because you think about who's in the East. Shout out to Carl, by the way, who's in the chat. What's good, Brody?
What's good, Carl?
Got something coming for y'all too. We got a new record coming for y'all that Carl's gonna be doing again, so it's gonna be fire. But getting back to what we were talking about, you look at who's in the East. The top 2 teams in the East, the Celtics and the Bucks. Yep. Where do they shine? I mean, I know Giannis plays the 4, but he plays like a wing. He plays like everything, but he can play like a wing the way he gets up and down the floor. And you look at Boston, Brown, Tatum. What are they? Wings. So I want somebody who can at least make life difficult for those guys en route to getting their 30. Just make it hard for them. That's why I want at that 3 spot somebody who's athletic and who's a defensive minded player. I wouldn't be mind at a what's his name over at Phoenix, Bridges. I wouldn't mind a player like that. Maybe a little bigger because he's kind of small, but somebody who is active defensively, who can be a kind of a glue guy defensively, right? A smart player defensively. That's really what I think we need at that 3 spot because we don't have that right now.
We need a true 3 and D.
Yes.
A true 3 and D. We have right now. We just have 3. That's it. We need 3 and D. You got to be able to defend the wing, man. You're gonna get killed out there. Everybody. It was all cute when Boyan was. He scored 30-something points against the Lakers. That's all cute, right? But how many points did he give up?
That's what we always say. That's what we always say.
So what good is that?
I don't want a modern day Kelly Tripucka. You know what I'm saying? Who will give you 30 and give up 40.
You're talking about empty stats. We used to say Drummond gave you empty stats. Well, that's empty stats, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's no knock to Boyan.
Nope.
But you can't keep giving up 20, 30 points on the wing.
Yep.
Like we talking about a rookie. Keegan Murray had 20 tonight. 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how many Barnes had tonight? 19 himself.
Yeah.
We got to defend the wing.
Yeah. That's the only place to me I think we're weak at as far as our future, right?
Yeah.
As far as going forward. Because I think all these guys, the other 4 guys are going to get better. I think we can all agree on that. They all going to get better. But that 3 spot, we need a defensive anchor at that 3 spot on that wing just because of who we're playing in the East on a nightly basis.
Mm-hmm.
East is full of wings. You know? So we gotta nail that down. Maybe this offseason, that's what Troy goes and does.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting. Like I said, we just gotta continue to sit back and watch these boys grow and develop. This team is definitely gonna look more and more different over time.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the young bucks get better and better at what they do with more reps out there on the court. I was looking at Basketball Reference tonight and putting some stats together, getting some stuff together for my videos coming, man.
Right.
It's still only 122 games for Killian. That's nuts.
Are you serious? That's it?
Still only 122 games played, bro.
Wow. That's a and a half. And this is the 3rd year.
Yeah. Yep. 26 games played the first season, 66 the following season. So, basically this is season 2 for him because those 2 seasons combined is total out to about 1 season. So, that was interesting. But, man, like I said, we got to sit back and watch these guys to keep developing, man. You got anything else you want to add besides being Mr. Superstar at LCA? They be banging that music.
Too. Shout out to Chachi. They spun it again tonight too, bro. Like every game. I'm just blessed, bro. And I appreciate, individuals like you, my dog who helped with that process, man. Like I said, I always say it. You were the one that really helped to reinforce that confidence to get out there and do it, man. So shout out to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Daryl, who's in the chat, shout out to you too. Everybody, all y'all, man. Shout out to everybody.
Hey man, I say with everybody, only thing I did is told you to be great because that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? You be great. Hey, you sell out on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So with that,
you gotta come to the studio. I need you.
Yeah, most definitely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said, I used to rap back in the day.
I know you. I know.
I wasn't always a family man. let's just say them Cardis ain't come from nowhere.
Yeah. I get it. I already know, bro.
But man, glad to have you on the show, bro. Downtown Deuce, everybody, man. Destination Restoration. If you haven't heard that song yet, you need to jump off a bridge, man. Like if you're a Pistons fan and you haven't seen that video and heard that song, what is wrong with you? What is really wrong with you, man? So the video available, man, on YouTube. Also, you got Apple Music, man. It's on those platforms. You can listen to it there. So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We got another song called Baton, man. Baton from the Bad Boys to the Going to Work to the Restoration. So my man Carl is doing the fire editing again, per usual. I got my sister doing the track. Grammy nominated producer doing the track. So it's same energy. So y'all just stay tuned, keep it locked, and keep watching this dude right here because he's the best at what he does. I'm happy to be here with him, but he's the best at what he does. He knows what he's talking about. So I appreciate you having me on, Brody, for real.
Man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, and by the way, I just want to say this. You got a car, You got a nice car with some nice sounds. Hey, Destination Restoration bangs, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was riding to the Pistons game, listening to it. It bangs. Do you understand me,
bro?
I had that song on repeat riding to the game.
You know what's crazy, bro? That's what Javen told me. Jaden's father told me that. He was like, "Oh, you put this on the way here." I was like, "Man, shut up. Come on, bro."
Bang, authentic bang. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you, bro.
I just had to throw that out.
Gotta get you on one, man. Gotta get you on one. We gonna keep that hush hush.
Yes, sir, man. So man, we gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. I appreciate everybody who came in and contributed in the comment section, man. So make sure you smash the like button for your boy. Share this stream on any platform that you have available. Man, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. You come in here consistently. You bang out with us every time we come in here. Yeah. We're going to be doing more streaming, especially on good and bad days. Today was a loss, and we came over here with stream. We still talk about our team because we understand what it is. So understanding this team and understanding, you know, the true process of restoration is key, and we're going to do our best to make sure that y'all understand that along this ride. So with that said, man, I'm out of here. Downtown Deuce. Out of here, man. Had a great show. Appreciate y'all for coming, man. And y'all be safe. Have a good night out there.
Be Trevor's, everybody.